Welcome back. One of the main pledges of the Biden administration was to tackle climate change.
With new executive orders already being signed, meteorologist Corey Smith breaks down what this all means for the future of the state.
The oil and gas industry is an important economic driver for the state of Louisiana. With recent actions taken by the Biden administration in regards to climate change, including an executive order and the proposed climate plan, well, it looks like changes could be coming in the future that would affect the state's energy sector. We'll talk about some of those changes that are planned, as well as the communities that could be impacted, especially here along the Mississippi River. The oil, gas, and chemical industries make up a large portion of Louisiana's economy. Because of this, any changes to the current economic landscape will have far-lasting impacts for the state. Over the past few weeks, the Biden administration has kept promises of fighting climate change, and the president has already signed 2 executive orders. One to stop leasing to oil and gas companies on federal lands, and the second, which was signed earlier this week, which puts forth the administration's climate plan. In this plan, there are goals to lead the country to net zero carbon emissions. Another part of the plan would help a large portion of Louisiana that has been hurt by industrial pollution.
With this executive order, environmental justice will be at the center of all we do, addressing the disproportionate health and environmental and economic impacts on communities of color. It's hard, the hard-hit areas like Cancer Alley in Louisiana, or the Route 9 corridor in the state of Delaware.
Cancer Alley is the stretch of the Mississippi River between Baton Rouge and New Orleans where increased rates of cancer and ailments have been tied to toxic emissions from oil and chemical plants. Ann Rolfes, the director of the Louisiana Bucket Brigade, explains the feeling of hearing this region being acknowledged on the national stage.
You know, look, the abuses have been so tragic and so extreme for so long. And again, I think most people haven't seen them. But for the last 20 years, I have been in these communities. I can see the really unfair concentration of petrochemical facilities in the Black community and the toll that that has taken. You know, it's destroyed a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of families and people's health and their lives. And so to have the president acknowledge that there is Cancer Alley, acknowledge our problems here, you know, is a real game changer, especially since he has the policy to back it up.
In the proposed plan, 40% of federal investments would be towards helping these communities and establishing green electricity and technologies. Along with the help and change coming to this region, Ann says this is still an issue that affects the entire state.
You know, it is the Black community that is in the bullseye of the petrochemical pollution and the destruction. But let's look at a beautiful town or city like Lake Charles, right? I mean, that's a beautiful place. You can't even swim in that lake anymore, right? Over the years, it's become a thing you can't even fish in. And that's because of industry. And so we have these beautiful parts of Louisiana that are now really dead to us. And we're all affected, Black and white. And it's why we now need to join together and roll up our sleeves and solve this problem.
From here, the Biden administration is planning to hold a climate summit on April 22nd, where more will be decided about the path forward to fight climate change. From Baton Rouge, I'm Storm Track 15 meteorologist Corey Smith.